We have come to the point where we cannot sit on the sidelines anymore. And this is, like I said, the biggest issue we have here in this country, maybe more than anything else, when it comes to why have we allowed our government to be co-opted by a genocidal foreign country. It's because too many Americans are simply subdued into this false sense of comfort that they think that they're entitled to. And by having that comfort, they are just not willing to fight. But you know what's going to happen in the next couple of days, my friend? Gas prices are going to go through the roof. Cost of food is going through the roof. And it isn't just going to be temporary. It could be permanent for a very long time. And then we'll see just how much people are willing to sit on their frickin' hands and not do anything about it. You have the right to go to Capitol Hill anytime you want and question your federal representative. You have the right to go to your city council and county commission anytime you want and question the people who are running your community. We as Americans have to be a United States of America, period. End of story. And if you are not willing to set differences aside right now, you never will. And we will see the end of the United States as we know it. And it's going to happen a lot faster than people think. Just as they're leveling what's going on in Tehran right now is really terrible. Look at what's happening in Tel Aviv. Look what's happening in Jerusalem. And you got Naftali Bennett saber rattling on Turkey. They haven't even, the oil is still burning from the first bombs that were dropped in Tehran. And they're already talking about, hey, how can we get into Istanbul? Maybe we should try to attack them next. What country do they think this is? You think this is a country that's lining up? We have people that are still part of that nightmare that went on between 2002 and 2003, saying that they had weapons of mass destruction and we have to go over there. They're going to fight us for our freedom. And, if we don't do that, things are going to get really bad. And
democracy.
Yeah, we got to bring it to them. Or if we don't fight them over there, they're going to fight us over here.
They're going to come here, yeah. Have you seen, by the way, any of those ambitions in real life? Have you seen anywhere that you look the forced Islamification of America? Have you seen the forced Sharia law of America? I haven't seen that anywhere. I haven't seen anywhere where these, radical Islamic extremists have embedded themselves into my political apparatus. I haven't seen them dominating the banking and finance industry. I haven't seen them taking advantage of my fellow countrymen as usurious demons, with high interest predatory loans, keeping these people, saddling them with debt from the minute that they come out of the womb, like irrepayable debt. We are a nation that is so far gone to this cause that I think at this point, no matter where you look, everybody would unanimously agree, bare naked honest, that these people need to be removed from their positions of power. And by extension, I would go so far as to say that they need to face a tribunal of American citizens and they need to be made to answer for their crimes. And then I think that the constitutionally appropriate sentencing for treason needs to be handed down to these people.
Have you ever been to a mosque? Have you ever been to a praying situation for Muslims before?
I have, yep.
They're the most peaceful people I know. And the idea that people want to depict them as these savage animals.
I have not been to a religious ceremony or a place of worship or been a part of, any kind of Muslim prayer as an observer and seen any of their leadership stand on stage and talk about blowing something up or using missiles. I've never seen them talk about using violence. I have, however, seen Christian Zionists like Greg Locke do that exact thing.
Or how about in the Oval Office the other day?
About, blowing the Alaska Mosque off of its, the rock that it sits on and ushering in the return of Jesus. Get to building that third temple and usher in the return of Jesus.
Sounds like
Ken fanatical. They are fanatical. Ken Copeland, look into this guy's eyes. I see Erika Kirk eyes. These people are devoid of any type of soul or any type of human emotion at all whatsoever. I believe that they are demons incarnate. Living amongst us, they are demons incarnate. And they are working for an agenda that they are fanatical about. I don't know if it's MK Ultra mind control. I don't know if it's illicit drug abuse. I don't know if they're just like literally the spawns of Satan. I don't know. But these people are not going to stop. And a lot of the people, by the way, that are the string pullers in all of this, they're getting up there in age. These Miriam Adelsons, they're getting up there in age. Oh, yeah. They want to see this come to fruition while they are alive.
Yep.
They want to see this happen. So the foot is on the gas, and now we're just killing innocent people by the droves. And Trump is like not fazed by it. You know, they ask him on Air Force One, they ask him in these meetings, Hegseth, completely devoid of any type of human emotion at all. He just empty, evil eyes. These people are on a mission, and they're not going to stop until they're stopped.
Can we conclude this conversation on one positive note? Can we just say thank you to Erika Kirk for being the most obvious psyop I have ever seen? A person who could never hide the fact that she was a honeypot, or, you know, placed in the path that she was placed in by some alphabet agency, because of the fact that she's so transparently
I thought you were going to, you know, commend her on what a wonderful mother she's being, you know, while her so-called children grieve the loss of their father, and how she's been spending time away from the public eye and at home. You know, I thought that's where you were going. Yeah, no, I mean, this woman is horrible. I said this on my show too. I was like, you know, as a bounty hunter of 15 years, I came across a lot of liars. We were hunting people that were going to prison for 25 years to life because all we did was level 1 felonies, crimes against persons, violent offenders, etc. You know, rape, molestation, murder, these types of things. And so, of course, everybody lies to you. The people that are acquainted with them, their relatives, their family members, their mom, their grandma, they all lie to you. So you become kind of a human walking trained lie detector test where you kind of understand the different tactics of lying. I even took it to reading about neuro-linguistic programming to, you know, really be able to detect lies at an even more advanced level. She is by far and away, of the thousands of liars that I have ever witnessed, and there's been some really, really good ones, and there's been some really, really bad ones. She is so bad at this. She is just so bad at lying and acting. It is all just so fake. Earlier today, we were at some restaurant, and there was some people behind us, and I'm in Minnesota, so the high school state hockey tournament is on. Big deal. Everybody's out. My kids play. And so afterwards we go out, and this person behind us was like, "Are you crying?" And she's like, "No, I'm doing my best Erika Kirk impression." And she pulls out $200 bills, and she's like, and so like regular people everywhere you go, regular people are talking about this, and it's just great because you can't stop the noticing. I think noticing is at an all-time high right now.
It is.
And that's why Trump is now launching his own Ministry of Truth. Did you see that?
Oh God, please no.
Yeah, he's launching the Ministry of Truth to the propaganda machine. You watched like Caroline Levitt just go and incessantly lie, and these people they lie about their old lies, and then when they get caught telling another lie, they lie about that lie, and they just make up these unbelievable fairy tales that just don't compute by any metric or by any measure of equating mathematics or, you know, common sense or logic. You know, scientifically, you can't make any of these things a reality. They're all just such unbelievable fairy tales. The Tyler Robinsons and the liberating the Iranians, and I don't even know what the justification for Nicolas Maduro was. Do you even remember why we went there and kidnapped the president of a sovereign nation in the Western Hemisphere and brought him and his wife to New York on an aircraft carrier, taking dozens of pictures and dozens of different like outfits, clothing changes, humiliation ritual, and then we're going to hand
control and
try him in the SDNY in a civilian court,
and to take over the oil supply of crude oil that is so much more embedded in the ground in a way that the refinement takes an unbelievable amount of time. And what was he planning on doing this for? Because he knew that the Strait of Hormuz was going to get shut down and they had to find a new path in order to bring in the oil to the country. What's going to happen now when you realize that the refinement of that oil is a lot different than the oil you find in West Asia? So the fact that he decided to do, again, they are not playing with a full deck of cards here. None of them are. But you know what? In retrospect, this is probably the best scenario we could hope for because we were inevitably heading in this direction anyway. Let it be run by a bunch of incompetents that wear it on their sleeves so that even the most lay person walking the streets in this country who doesn't even pay attention to politics can see exactly what's going on here, and they don't like it. And as long as we are continuously forming this web, if you will, as Jen likes to say, we are eventually going to come out on the other side. The night is always darkest before the dawn. But I do think that this conversation, and hopefully there will be others, will definitely raise some eyebrows in a very good way. I want to thank you wholeheartedly for coming on. I think we both learned a lot from each other. And I think that by having this conversation, hopefully this will inspire others to try to bring others together and do something similar. Because I think this is imperative, especially right now. And when and let's leave on this note, because you know this probably even better than I do. They're telling you that six Americans are dead right now. It's a hell of a lot more than that. It is so much more than that. It's like when they say that 75,000 Palestinians are dead. Yeah, times that by 10, and you might be within earshot of what's really going on. There are at least several hundred service members that are now dead. You don't know about it because it's considered special ops. So eventually this information will be released. But at the end of the day, we have to step up now, right now. And so final thoughts before you go. Again, thank you so very much for coming on tonight.
The death numbers that you're going to hear are going to be the same as the death numbers or, the adverse event numbers that you could find in the vaccine adverse events reporting system after, the shots were released. They will do everything to bury, the truth about any of this stuff. They will gaslight, they will lie. The family members of these people that have been killed over this Operation Epstein Fury, they don't even know that they have lost their son or their brother or anything else. We're blowing the whole world up right now, not we as in you and I, not we as in Americans or Iranians. Nobody wants this. The American people are diametrically opposed to this, or if there are people in Iran that can hear me, or anywhere else in the region, the Gulf states that we've completely abandoned, we don't want this. If you ask real Americans out on the street, if you can get away from the 65 plus boomers that, watch their Fox News machine all day, nobody wants this. Anybody who has any idea at all about what's going on here, and even people who don't, people who are completely clueless about American politics or geopolitical relations, they don't see an upside to this. And they are saying, we don't want this. This is like the last thing that we need right now. I'm looking at my country, like there's a lot of places that we could spend trillions of dollars, and one of them wouldn't be bombing the Iranian people. And I just don't know why we have to blow up the world to see this and why we are so slow to act. 109 other countries got this right. 109 other countries got this right, and they didn't have to blow up the whole world. So 110, let's fucking go.